2 years ago we told them about cracked control arm bushings. You can see they're broken right through. I'll take pictures of them so you can see better. It's usually the rear ones that go. The front ones usually hold up pretty good, but in this case, look at how bad that is. So if these are the tires, whenever they're accelerating, both tires will want to move because of this excess movement. So the vehicle starts to pull to one side because there's too much movement in the wheel alignment. So I'm going to take the control arms out. We're going to press in, press out the old ones, press in the new ones. You can buy a complete control arm brand new with bushings already installed, whichever way you want to go. While we have the control arm out, we're going to do the sway bar bushings as well. These guys are clunking, going over bumps. So you can see the movement on this side. You can see the movement in the back. On this side it's solid, but you can see how badly torn this is. Mark the ball joint bolt location with some white out. On automatic transmissions, you have to lower the subframe to get at this bolt. On the passenger side, the oil pan is in the way, so you're going to have to use a ratchet or a wrench. To break the bolt free. You can then use a universal. There's an 18mm nut at the top. I usually use a my 19. I don't have an 18 offset. You should then be able to slide the ball joint out. And then you can take the control arm out. It's completely shut. press the bushing out any way that you can. And you basically press it in the same way. Installation is in reverse of removal. These sway bar bushings can be replaced with the control arms in place, but what you want to do is you want to disconnect the sway bar link bolt so that you can manipulate the sway bar. So you want to raise and support the vehicle on both sides. If you only raise one side, the sway bar is going to be under tension. So with the sway bar loose, both clamps, the bolts removed, you can then remove the clamps and the bushing itself. Take note of how it's installed. You've got a smaller edge, you've got a bigger edge. It's the bigger edge that goes at the bottom, and there's a bit of a lip here, whereas this one has more of a flat surface. Same thing on this side, just tilt the clamp away from the bushing and unhook it. You can reuse the clamps if need be, as long as they're not overly rusty. If the surface here is quite rough, definitely sand it a bit. Obviously it's not that easy to get into here, or if access is limited. What I do is I lubricate the bushing. Place it on the sway bar. I like to apply a bit of lube to the clamp, and then I insert the clamp at the bottom. I use this pry bar to pry against the clamp so I can start the bolt. You'll notice everything moving here right now because I don't have the control arm attached, but as you can see I can still get the bolt started. Yeah, that's one side done. Do the same on the other side. To make it easier to install the ball joint, remove the CV nut here, push the drive shaft in so that you can move the whole steering knuckle out a little bit. Then you'll able to slide the ball joint back into the control arm much easier. If the inner CV joint is seized, if it doesn't want to move out of the hub, you need to use one of these. Link is in the description. With the control arm installed, you don't want to tighten this one or this one until the control arm is level, or when the vehicle's on the ground. I have the control arm supported, and you can see the frame is off of the vehicle, so that tells me that the suspension here is loaded right now. And now I can tighten up this bolt, and that ball joint's already tight. CV joint bolt I'm going to tighten once the vehicle's on the ground. Don't forget to get a wheel alignment. We don't have an alignment rack, so we ourselves also send the vehicle out to get an alignment done after this.